Hey there, you looking kinda cute. Don't forget to subscribe and check out my other socials for more. Enjoy. The park bench creaked as Aaron settled into it, his weathered hands unfolding the morning newspaper with practiced ease. The routine was as familiar to him as the lines etched into his face, a daily ritual that offered a semblance of structure to his otherwise empty days. Autumn leaves rustled beneath his feet, a gentle reminder of the changing seasons. Aaron's eyes skimmed the headlines, barely registering the words as his mind wandered to the same place it always did, the hollow echo of his empty apartment, the silence that seemed to grow louder with each passing day since the divorce. A burst of laughter cut through his melancholy thoughts. Aaron's gaze lifted from the newsprint, drawn to the source of the joyful sound. His breath caught in his throat as he spotted her, a vision of grace and beauty, her chestnut hair catching the sunlight as she pushed a little girl on the nearby swing set. The woman's smile was radiant, her eyes crinkling at the corners as she shared in the child's delight. Aaron found himself mesmerized, the newspaper forgotten in his lap as he watched the pair. The little girl couldn't have been more than 5 or 6, her pigtails bouncing with each arc of the swing. For the first time in months, Aaron felt a spark of something other than the dull ache of loneliness. He straightened his posture, suddenly aware of his rumpled appearance. His fingers combed through his salt and pepper hair in a futile attempt to tame it. The woman glanced in his direction, and their eyes met for a brief moment. Aaron's heart skipped a beat as she offered him a friendly smile before turning her attention back to the child. He found himself returning the gesture, his cheeks warming slightly. Minutes ticked by as Aaron debated with himself. Should he approach her? It had been so long since he'd made an effort to connect with anyone. The thought of putting himself out there filled him with a mixture of excitement and trepidation. Finally, after what felt like an eternity of internal struggle, Aaron folded his newspaper and stood. His legs felt unsteady as he made his way towards the playground, each step requiring a conscious effort to appear casual and confident. As he drew closer, he could hear snippets of their conversation. The little girl's voice was high and sweet as she chattered away. "Higher, Auntie Donna! Push me higher!" The woman, Donna, laughed, the sound like music to Aaron's ears. "Any higher and you'll touch the clouds, sweet pea." Aaron paused a few feet away, clearing his throat softly. Donna turned, her eyebrows raising slightly in surprise. "Hello," Aaron said, his voice gruffer than he intended. He cleared his throat again. "I hope I'm not interrupting. I just wanted to say, well, it's nice to see such joy in the park. You two seem to be having a wonderful time." Donna's smile widened, and Aaron felt his nervousness begin to melt away. "That's very kind of you to say," she replied. Her voice was deeper than he expected, rich and melodious. "We try to make the most of these beautiful autumn days before winter chases us indoors." The little girl had slowed her swinging, eyeing Aaron with curiosity. "Who's that, Auntie Donna?" "I'm not sure, sweetie," Donna answered, glancing at Aaron expectantly. "Oh, I'm Aaron," he said quickly, offering his hand to Donna. "It's a pleasure to meet you both." Donna's hand was soft and warm as it clasped his. "I'm Donna, and this little monkey is my niece, Emma." Emma giggled at the nickname, hopping off the swing and hiding behind her aunt's legs. Aaron crouched down to her level, smiling gently. "It's nice to meet you, Emma. That looked like some pretty impressive swinging you were doing there." Emma's shyness melted away as she beamed with pride. "I can go super high. Auntie Donna says I might fly away one day." Aaron chuckled, straightening up. "Well, we certainly wouldn't want that. Your aunt might miss you too much." Donna's eyes sparkled with amusement. "Indeed I would, though I'm sure she'd have quite the adventure." As they continued to chat, Aaron found himself captivated by Donna's warmth and wit. There was something about her that drew him in, a quiet strength beneath her gentle demeanor. He learned that she worked as a graphic designer and often brought Emma to the park on her days off to give her sister a break. Time seemed to slip away as they talked, Emma content to play on the nearby jungle gym. As the sun began to dip lower in the sky, Donna glanced at her watch with surprise. "Oh my, I didn't realize how late it's gotten. We should probably head home soon. Emma has school tomorrow." Aaron felt a pang of disappointment. He didn't want this encounter to end. Gathering his courage, he spoke before he could talk himself out of it. "I've really enjoyed talking with you, Donna. I was wondering, would you perhaps like to get coffee sometime? Just the two of us?" A flicker of something, hesitation, uncertainty, passed over Donna's face. She bit her lip, seeming to weigh her words carefully. "Aaron, I'm flattered, truly. But before this goes any further, there's something you should know about me." She took a deep breath, her eyes meeting his with a mix of vulnerability and determination. "I'm transgender. My name used to be Dawn." The words hung in the air between them, and Aaron felt as though the ground had shifted beneath his feet. His mind raced, trying to process this unexpected revelation. He looked at Donna, really looked at her, seeing her in a new light. The silence stretched on for a moment too long, and Donna's face fell slightly. "I understand if that changes things," she said softly. "I just wanted to be upfront." "No," Aaron interrupted, surprising even himself with the firmness of his tone. "I mean, yes, it's unexpected, but it doesn't change how I feel about our conversation, about you." Relief washed over Donna's features, followed by a tentative smile. "Really?" Aaron nodded, realizing as he did so that it was true. The connection he'd felt with Donna, the spark of interest and attraction, it was still there. Different, perhaps, but no less real. "Really," he confirmed. "I'd still like to get that coffee, if you're interested. I'd love to get to know you better." Donna's smile broadened, genuine and warm. "I'd like that too, Aaron. Thank you for being so understanding." As they exchanged numbers and made plans to meet later that week, Aaron felt a sense of excitement he hadn't experienced in years. The world seemed a little brighter, full of new possibilities. Emma tugged on Donna's sleeve, reminding them of her presence. "Can we get ice cream on the way home, Auntie Donna? Please?" Donna laughed, ruffling the girl's hair affectionately. "I suppose we could make a quick stop. What do you say, Aaron? Care to join us for some ice cream before we part ways?" Aaron grinned, feeling lighter than he had in months. "I'd be delighted." As they walked together towards the park exit, Aaron stealing glances at Donna's profile, he marveled at the unexpected turn his day had taken. He didn't know where this would lead, but for the first time in a long time, he was eager to find out. The ice cream parlor was a charming little shop just a few blocks from the park, its pastel-colored awning a cheerful beacon in the fading afternoon light. The bell above the door chimed merrily as they entered, the sweet scent of waffle cones and sugar enveloping them. Emma's eyes widened with delight as she pressed her face against the glass display case, her breath fogging up the surface as she examined each flavor with intense concentration. Donna chuckled, placing a gentle hand on her niece's shoulder. "Remember, sweet pea, just one scoop. We don't want to spoil your dinner." Aaron watched their interaction with a warm smile, struck by the tenderness in Donna's voice and the easy affection between aunt and niece. It was a stark contrast to the stilted, awkward relationship he had with his own children since the divorce. "What's your favorite flavor, Aaron?" Donna asked, turning to him with curiosity in her eyes. He considered for a moment. "I'm partial to butter pecan, actually. It reminds me of my grandfather. He always kept a carton in his freezer for our visits." Donna's eyes lit up. "Oh, I love that. Food memories are so powerful, aren't they? For me, it's mint chocolate chip. My mom would always buy it when I was feeling down, which, well, was quite often during my teenage years." There was a hint of sadness in her voice, a depth of meaning behind her words that Aaron couldn't fully grasp. But he sensed the vulnerability in her sharing, and it touched him deeply. "I can only imagine," he said softly. "Teenage years are tough for anyone, but I'm sure you had unique challenges." Donna nodded, her smile tinged with something bittersweet. "That's putting it mildly, but ice cream helped, at least a little." Their moment was interrupted by Emma's excited squeal. "I want bubblegum! With extra sprinkles!" The tension broken, they all laughed. Aran insisted on paying for their treats, waving away Donna's protests. They found a small table near the window, Emma happily digging into her colorful creation while the adults talked. As they chatted, Aaron found himself continually amazed by Donna's quick wit and genuine warmth. She had a way of making him feel at ease, drawing out stories and opinions he hadn't shared with anyone in years. They discovered a shared love of old movies and terrible puns, their laughter filling the small shop. Every so often, Aaron would catch himself staring at Donna's features, the curve of her cheekbone, the way her eyes crinkled when she smiled. He couldn't deny the attraction he felt, even as his mind grappled with this new understanding of who she was. "So, Aaron," Donna said, her tone turning slightly more serious. "I have to ask, are you really okay with all of this?" She gestured vaguely to herself. "I know it can be a lot to process, and I wouldn't blame you if you wanted to back out." Aaron considered her words carefully, wanting to be honest both with her and himself. "I won't lie, Donna. It's not something I've ever encountered before, and I'm sure I have a lot to learn. But I meant what I said earlier. I've enjoyed our time together, and I'd like to see where this goes. If you're willing to be patient with my questions and probable missteps, I'm willing to keep an open mind and heart." Donna's eyes glistened with unshed tears, and she reached across the table to squeeze his hand. "That means more to me than you know, Aaron. Thank you." The moment was broken by Emma's giggles. They looked over to see the little girl with ice cream smeared across her face, a ring of bubblegum blue around her mouth. Donna laughed, reaching for a napkin. "Oh, sweet pea, look at you. You're wearing more ice cream than you've eaten." As Donna gently cleaned her niece's face, Aaron watched with a growing sense of contentment. This wasn't at all how he'd expected his day to go when he'd settled onto that park bench this morning, but he couldn't imagine a better turn of events. The sun had nearly set by the time they left the ice cream shop, the streetlights flickering to life around them. Emma yawned widely, the sugar crash beginning to set in. Donna scooped her up, the little girl's head nestling against her shoulder. "I should get this one home," Donna said, her voice soft with affection. "Thank you for a lovely afternoon, Aaron, and for the ice cream." "It was my pleasure," he replied, meaning every word. "I'm looking forward to our coffee date. Maybe we can set a time and place." They made plans to meet at a local cafe in a few days' time, exchanging one last smile before parting ways. As Aaron watched Donna walk away, Emma's sleepy form cradled in her arms, he felt a sense of anticipation he hadn't experienced in years. The days leading up to their coffee date passed in a blur for Aaron. He found himself constantly checking his phone, rereading their text exchanges with a goofy grin on his face. It had been so long since he'd felt this way. The mixture of excitement and nervousness, the flutter in his stomach when he thought about seeing Donna again. He also spent a considerable amount of time researching, wanting to educate himself about transgender experiences and issues. The more he learned, the more he admired Donna's courage and strength. It also raised a lot of questions in his mind about identity, attraction, and his own preconceived notions of gender. When the day of their date finally arrived, Aaron spent an embarrassing amount of time agonizing over what to wear. He settled on a soft blue button-down shirt that his daughter had once told him brought out his eyes, paired with his nicest jeans. As he studied his reflection in the mirror, he realized he was smiling, a genuine, excited smile that he hadn't seen on his own face in far too long. The cafe was bustling when he arrived, the aroma of freshly ground coffee beans filling the air. Aaron scanned the room, his heart rate picking up when he spotted Donna seated at a small table near the back. She looked stunning in an emerald green sweater that complemented her complexion beautifully. Donna's face lit up when she saw him, and Aaron felt a warmth spread through his chest. He made his way over, suddenly feeling like a nervous teenager on his first date. "Hi," he said, wincing internally at how breathless he sounded. "You look lovely." A faint blush colored Donna's cheeks. "Thank you, Aaron. You're looking quite handsome yourself." They ordered their drinks, a latte for Donna, an Americano for Aaron, and fell into easy conversation. Aaron found himself captivated by Donna's passion as she talked about her work in graphic design, her eyes sparkling as she described a challenging project she'd recently completed. "I'm sorry," she said suddenly, looking a bit sheepish. "I tend to ramble when I get excited about my work. You must be bored to tears." Aaron shook his head emphatically. "Not at all. I love seeing how passionate you are about it. It's refreshing, actually. My ex-wife was always telling me to find a hobby, something I could be passionate about. I never quite managed it." Donna's expression softened with understanding. "The divorce must have been hard. How long ago was it, if you don't mind me asking?" 2 years, Aaron replied, surprised to find that the usual ache in his chest when discussing it was duller than usual. "It was amicable enough, I suppose, but it left me feeling adrift. Like I'd forgotten how to connect with people." Donna reached across the table, her hand covering his. The touch sent a pleasant tingle up his arm. "I can understand that feeling. Coming out, transitioning, it changed a lot of my relationships. Some for the better, some, well, not so much. It can be lonely." Aaron turned his hand over, lacing his fingers with hers. "I'm glad we found each other then. 2 lonely souls connecting in the park." Donna's smile was radiant. "Me too, Aaron, me too." As their date progressed, Aaron found himself growing more and more comfortable. They shared stories from their pasts, Aaron talking about his children and his work as an accountant, Donna opening up about her journey of self-discovery and transition. "Can I ask you something?" Aaron said hesitantly, not wanting to overstep. "Feel free to tell me if it's too personal." Donna nodded encouragingly. "Of course, I appreciate your willingness to learn, Aaron. Ask away." He took a deep breath. "When did you know that Don wasn't who you really were?" Donna's eyes grew distant, lost in memory. "It's hard to pinpoint an exact moment. I think on some level I always knew something was different. But it wasn't until my late 20s that I finally had the words to describe what I was feeling. It was like I'd been living my life in black and white, and suddenly everything was in color." Aaron listened intently, trying to imagine what that must have been like. "That sounds both terrifying and liberating." "It was," Donna agreed. "There were moments of pure joy, finally feeling like I was becoming my true self. But there was also fear and loss. Not everyone in my life was accepting." Aaron squeezed her hand gently. "I'm sorry you had to go through that." "You're incredibly brave, Donna." She ducked her head, looking pleased but embarrassed by the compliment. "Thank you. It hasn't always been easy, but I wouldn't change it. Being true to myself is worth any hardship." As their coffee cups emptied and the afternoon light began to fade, neither seemed eager to end their date. They decided to take a walk, strolling through a nearby park as the sunset painted the sky in brilliant hues of orange and pink. Their hands brushed as they walked, and Aaron found himself wanting to reach out and take hers. He hesitated, uncertain if it would be welcome. Donna seemed to sense his indecision and took matters into her own hands, quite literally. She intertwined her fingers with his, offering him a shy smile. The simple act of holding hands felt monumental to Aaron. It had been so long since he'd experienced this kind of connection, this spark of potential. And with Donna, it felt both familiar and entirely new. As they reached a small footbridge overlooking a duck pond, Donna slowed to a stop. She turned to face Aaron, her expression serious. "Aaron, I've really enjoyed spending time with you. But I need to know, are you sure about this? About me?" I know it's a lot to take in, and I wouldn't blame you if you decided it was too complicated. Aaron considered her words carefully, wanting to be honest both with her and himself. He thought about the warmth he felt in her presence, the way she made him laugh, the depth of her strength and vulnerability. Yes, there were aspects of this situation that were new and potentially challenging, but the connection he felt with Donna outweighed any uncertainty. "Donna," he said softly, reaching up to cup her cheek.
"I'm sure about you. I won't pretend I have all the answers or that I won't make mistakes along the way, but I know that I want to see where this goes. You're an incredible woman, and I feel lucky to have met you." Tears glistened in Donna's eyes, but her smile was radiant.
"Oh, Aaron," she whispered. Slowly, giving her plenty of time to pull away if she wanted, Aaron leaned in. Their lips met in a soft, tender kiss. It was brief, but filled with promise. As they parted, Aaron felt a sense of rightness settle over him. This wasn't the future he had imagined for himself, but standing here with Donna, he couldn't imagine wanting anything else. "So," he said, a playful glint in his eye, "think Emma would be up for another ice cream outing soon?" Donna laughed, the sound filled with joy. "I'm sure she'd love that, though maybe this time we should try frozen yogurt. Less messy." As they continued their walk, hands clasped and hearts full, Aaron marveled at the unexpected turn his life had taken. He didn't know what challenges lay ahead, but he was excited to face them, with Donna by his side. The weeks that followed were a whirlwind of discovery and deepening connection for Aaron and Donna. They fell into an easy rhythm, finding pockets of time between work commitments and family obligations to explore their budding relationship. Their dates were a mix of quiet evenings in, cooking dinner together and talking for hours, and adventurous outings where they discovered new parts of the city neither had explored before. Aaron found himself constantly in awe of Donna's zest for life, her ability to find joy in the smallest things. One particularly memorable evening, they attended an outdoor concert in the park. The music was a fusion of jazz and world beats, the kind of eclectic mix that would have made Aaron uncomfortable in the past. But with Donna by his side, swaying to the rhythm and laughing as she tried to teach him to dance, he found himself swept up in the moment. As the band played a slower number, Donna pulled him close, her arms draped around his neck. Aaron's hands settled on her waist, their bodies moving in sync to the gentle melody. "Thank you," Donna murmured, her breath warm against his ear. Aaron pulled back slightly to look at her, his brow furrowed in confusion. "For what?" Her smile was soft, tinged with a vulnerability that made his heart ache. "For this, for being so open and accepting, for making me feel normal." The weight of her words hit Aaron like a physical force. He tightened his arms around her, pulling her closer. "Donna, you are extraordinary, and you deserve to feel cherished and accepted exactly as you are." Tears glistened in Donna's eyes, but her smile was radiant. As they continued to sway to the music, Aaron felt a sense of peace wash over him. This felt right in a way he couldn't fully articulate. Of course, their relationship wasn't without its challenges. Aaron still had moments of uncertainty, times when he struggled to reconcile his attraction to Donna with his previous understanding of his own sexuality. But he found that talking openly with Donna about his feelings helped immensely. One evening, as they sat on Donna's couch sharing a bottle of wine, Aaron broached the subject that had been weighing on his mind. "Can I ask you something?" he said, his voice hesitant. Donna nodded encouragingly. "Of course. You can ask me anything, Aaron." He took a deep breath, struggling to find the right words. "I'm attracted to you, very much so. But sometimes I wonder, am I attracted to you as Donna, or is there a part of me that's attracted to the idea of Don?" Donna was quiet for a moment, considering his question. When she spoke, her voice was gentle but firm. "Aaron, Don was never really real. He was a mask I wore to try and fit in, to be who everyone expected me to be. Donna is who I truly am, my authentic self."
When you're attracted to me, you're attracted to Donna. Aaron nodded slowly, processing her words. I think I understand. It's just... Sometimes I worry that I'm not gay enough or straight enough. I don't even know how to define myself anymore. Donna reached out, taking his hand in hers. Labels can be comforting, but they can also be limiting. You don't have to define yourself by any particular term. You're attracted to who you're attracted to. It's as simple and as complicated as that. Her words resonated with Aaron, helping to quiet some of the doubts that had been swirling in his mind. He squeezed her hand gratefully. Thank you for being so patient with me, Donna. I'm trying to unlearn a lot of ingrained ideas. She leaned in. And I appreciate your willingness to learn and grow. It means more to me than you know. As their relationship deepened, Aaron found himself wanting to integrate Donna more fully into his life. He introduced her to his closest friends, relieved to find that they welcomed her warmly. There were a few raised eyebrows and curious questions, but overall, his social circle embraced Donna with open arms. The true test came when Aaron decided it was time for Donna to meet his children. His daughter, Megan, was 22 and living in another state for graduate school. His son, Tyler, was 19 and attending a local college. Aaron had maintained a good relationship with both of them post-divorce, but he was nervous about how they would react to Donna. He arranged a dinner at his apartment, his hands shaking slightly as he prepared the meal. Donna arrived early to help, her calm presence soothing his frayed nerves. It's going to be fine, she reassured him, rubbing his tense shoulders. They love you, Aaron. They want you to be happy. When the doorbell rang, Aaron took a deep breath, steeling himself. He opened the door to find Megan and Tyler standing there, both looking a mix of curious and apprehensive. Hey, Dad, Megan said, giving him a quick hug. So, where's this mysterious new girlfriend we've been hearing about? Aaron ushered them inside, his heart pounding. Megan, Tyler, I'd like you to meet Donna. Donna stepped forward, her smile warm and genuine. It's so nice to finally meet you both. Your father talks about you all the time. There was a moment of surprised silence as Megan and Tyler took in Donna's appearance. Aaron held his breath, waiting for their reaction. To his immense relief, Megan was the first to recover. She stepped forward, extending her hand to Donna. It's great to meet you too, Donna. Dad says you're a graphic designer? That must be so interesting. The tension in the room dissipated as they settled into conversation. Tyler was quieter, but Aaron could see him warming up to Donna as the evening progressed. By the time dessert was served, they were all laughing together over embarrassing stories from Aaron's past. As Megan and Tyler prepared to leave, Aaron pulled them aside. So, what do you think? He asked hesitantly. Megan smiled, giving him a reassuring pat on the arm. She seems really great, Dad. And more importantly, you seem happy. That's all that matters to us. Tyler nodded in agreement. Yeah, Dad. As long as you're happy, we're cool. Aaron felt a weight lift from his shoulders. He hugged his children tightly, overwhelmed with gratitude for their acceptance. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to check out my other socials if you want more wonderful content, early access, behind the scenes, and more. All links down below.